weekend analysis on the dollar yen monthly. So I'm talking about 7-period RSI. I just watched a video on the internet where a guy was doing a 7-period RSI and he had candlesticks up, and I think I'm becoming anti-candle as time goes on. You know, just too much information for me. I'm simple. So I was looking at they were discussing divergences on the 7-period RSI, and of course on their video they had it like this, so I couldn't really get a handle on it. But now that take a look at it, and I'm just going to look for the obvious entries here based on divergences. I guess the first one I see here would be up in this area. I guess it's not a... I'm kind of have to stretched out to here. Whatever's going on back there. Divergence there. It was a good trade. I mean, it went up, and it was a good... Divergence makes money. It works. Problem is, if you don't catch the other side of it, which would be the it's the opposite of divergence, so it would be this here, where you're more overbought. I'm sorry, more overbought here, but at a lower price. And now you can start to look for the top bottom. Move this back a little bit, the edge. And there's a, let's just zoom out. I don't like to zoom out too much, it gets a little messy, but, okay, here's some stuff I drew earlier. I'm looking for the RSI. I'm treating it as if it's price, actually. I'm not going to lie. If you want to trade ahead of the market, get the edge, RSI is a great tool for that. So this divergence here that on the monthly is the market was collapsing. There was a nice chance here, I guess, to buy this bottom here. Certainly based on the fact that you were at there's a top here inside the gray area, and then here's your buy zone, so your whole range of ticket placement would be all in here like this. So you want to place buy limits in here. I know it seems insane to expose yourself to that much, but I think it's better to place a grid of tiny orders than it is to try to place a single turning point. I just think that's a single turning point, so too much to ask. But let's take a look at this trend line here. We're coming up on monthly. Okay, so now what? Well, if your dream is that it's going to break that trend line and go to heaven, I don't know if that's going to happen in the next 48 minutes. So that might be a problem. But no, I was just going to go through the stuff that jumps out at you as far as treating RSI as if it's price, and the top bottom theory, of course. Keeping in mind that you're saying that tops become bottoms. And then if you take and use your equidistant tool, take your equidistant tool and just chop it. So you're inside of here when you turn off the rays, so it never extends. So all you're interested in doing is making money off the next zag, the next zigzag. Certainly in the down tank, depending how fast you want to get in. This would be an entry, RSI entry. These 2 points, or even these, well, that's not a reversal, but here's the only reversal that really shows up here. is right. There's actually two here. This is a stacked reversal. And the rule set for this is that if RSI can be more overbought and the price is lower, you want to get in that trade. You want to get in really heavy with a tight stop. It's probably the biggest trade in any market is when the market hesitates just for a little bit. So this would be an A, B, C. It'd be a B wave. You're really trading the B wave. In other words, if you enter on any B wave, I think that's the most money. 5 waves out is a little bit ridiculous to count that far into the future. It's not necessary. You're not going to trade that anyways. Just like you ain't going to trade all this stuff back here. So really, what if this is all you knew was, let's imagine all you knew of the world, your whole world was nothing but, like they just opened the market, they never traded it before, so it would just be, this is all you knew. Like, what would you do with that? How would you trade that? I mean, and then step outside of the historical base of that for a moment, at least, and so put yourself in the shoes of the person that doesn't have the whole story. The whole story may not always be a blessing. So, just in the crudest sense, who couldn't miss the breakout of this triangle, right? Who could miss this if you're a pattern trader, right? But as it's happening, and this is like, okay, well, it broke it, and it did a pivot. See, like, for the people that said, well, wait a minute, 2 bottoms became a top, then it reversed. But as the apex of the triangle forms, this top, bottom in price, so had your tickets been loaded into this, see, massive buy limits here, okay, from this top to this close, and then you the trailing stop people have this trailing stop. Now don't forget, there's all these stops stacking up now, and people are saying, let's buy this thing. So this is your first. Now it's funny they call these stop hunts, but seriously, like your stops, all the trend traders don't have stops stacking up in here, really? You gotta be kidding me. Because that's the daily, Well, here's the supposed stop hunt. Of course, that'd be a buying opportunity for me. I'd be stacking in this top become a bottom, this top become a bottom, and just grid trade into that. Just scale into that thing, that swing right there. So all this stuff here is great money making opportunities. 50 bips all day long on daily, right? And then look at the this reversal that's possibly forming right now, which would give you a price projection. Let me zoom in on this thing. Okay, so now you would have to speculate, God forbid. Nice hammer there, but let's be conservative and take it off of the lows first. Find the highest close within that. Of course, if this target isn't met, it's going to be a brutal, this divergence will kick in. So let's just do the current, where you are now story. And bravely step into the future. You're going to have to put your orders in ahead of the market here, all the way to like another, I'd say a nice place to place orders on here would be right there to buy, and then get out up in this. It's kind of like a an easy scalp zone. And then take a look at the, I think it's it's a major divergence here, but rhythm-wise, you still have to ideally come back up into the pivot here, treating the RSI as if it's price. So this is a big key, and then of course this 80 level. If you really drill down on these micro tops, how they play out, you know, and then you've always got the see how this how absolutely you know, this is like a severe pivot window. So you got that top, and here's this triangle. So here's a classic reversal. It kind of hunt these things down like Where's Waldo, but it pays off. Now this is the daily. This is a reversal. You're more oversold here compared to here, and the price is higher. And I'm using the close on RSI close chart so I can see the RSI because the candle's getting away. And so here's your reversal. But we have to do a price projection off that if it's a real one, so we know where to get out. We just pick the highest close between those, which is here. So here's your target, and your stop, I suppose, would be sadly 100 pips below on that wick. You got to put up a 100 pip stop on that trade, though. That's a problem. I see people talking about a 20 pip stop. I'm thinking, well, yeah, I suppose, but if you're gonna if you want to make 400 pips, you're gonna need a 100 pip stop. You know, it's just there's no way around it unless you're gonna scalp into that. Of course, this is the daily. You could have got in on a 1 hour chart, scalp this whole drama for 100 pips, and then still rode this train north even out of this one because that's, you know. But if you zoom in on RSI, go for the last known reversal on here. Of course, there's a daily. That's kind of big buying opportunities back at the apex of this triangle to breakout, where you have this beautiful top bottom thing going on. Got this. So you break out. There's a pullback here. There's actually a reversal probably in RSI. This is some period just before you left the gate. There was a if you just had to buy right on close and just not wait for confirmation on these trades. I think that's another big loser scenario, is waiting for confirmation. You see something like this reversal here. You don't wait for confirmation, and you also have an extraordinary high probability launching pad here because you have this top becoming a bottom. So here's an extreme example. Now here on a 14 period RSI, this is going to look more like this to you, perspective wise. But then see the triple out of the gate here. You got this reversal here, and then you got the that coincides with this. So you're inverted. It's an inverted divergence, basically. You know, that's. But you have to kind of take your RSI and really give it some breathing room. Now here's an ultra powerful entry. This is called the 2 period reversal. You don't see a lot of these, but these are the most explosive because people can't believe the price just keeps going. And it only takes one breath here. This is a 2 period reversal. It's very subtle, but it's happening outside of this breakout here. Here's another 2 period. You can drill down on this stuff. See this flat spot here as compared to that. That's this little, I guess it's a maybe a 3 period reversal because the flat spot took some time, and you can draw your trajectory off that for future support areas. And then like here's a divergence. I would take this trade in a second. Any 2 period divergences you see are good entries, I think. But like this wasn't a divergence up into here, but you did have this